Hey guys, today I'm going to be reviewing Insatiable by Meg Cabot, which is about Mina Harper, a writer of a soap opera called Insatiable. In her write about vampires. Unknowingly, she falls in love with one and puts herself into a very dangerous position. Let's first talk about the writing. The writing was horrendous. I must say, I just could not enjoy this book at all, and a lot of it had to do with the writing. She did not make this story at all interesting. She just didn't put a lot of effort into her writing, I feel. There were so many mistakes grammatically with her sentences. It just felt like she was throwing things in there, and I couldn't stand the writing. And Meg Cabot, oh my goodness, I remember reading a lot of her YA novels, and I don't remember her ever being that bad in writing. So yes, the transition between the YA and adult fiction did not go very well for her. I just felt like she was trying to shove a lot of adult content into a YA novel. Again, her writing was pathetic. I just didn't see a lot of effort going into this book, and whoever edited this book didn't do a very well job on it because I saw several mistakes in it. Let's talk about the story itself. Mina can see in the future, yet you don't really see much of it. At the beginning you see it, and a lot of times you're hearing her complain, and you're like, what's the point of her complaining? You don't really get her, you don't really see her in action doing what she does when it comes to seeing other people's futures. And then right at the end of the story, you see it come into play, and you're like, oh, okay, I get it, but it just feels like she shoved it back into the story because she knew that she had to tie it in. She just kind of sewed it in, and also to make it exciting, or to be more of a dramatic edge with the whole vampire war that was going on. It was just, didn't make no sense at all. The story itself is just everywhere, and you have the vampire hunter Alaric who's going after the prince, and then you have the prince who fell in love with Mina, trying to keep her to himself, and then you have Mina who's clueless and you have the whole scene where the vampire guy who falls in love with Mina turns into a dragon. It wasn't enough that he was a vampire, you had to put in something more exciting as a dragon. Woo! It just felt like she said, oh, you know, it'd be really cool if I made this story more ridiculous and over the top and just too much by adding the fact that he's a dragon also. Oh my gosh, that's gonna be so great. No, it was horrible. I just felt like she was trying to do something really weird, and it just didn't pull off at all. I don't even know if that's realistic. Vampires being dragons also? I don't know. I just can't see that being that realistic. Maybe it is. I don't know. It just felt way too much going on with the story, and then to add that is just, no. And then you have the whole vampire and Mina falling in love very instantly. Then you have Alaric, the vampire hunter, falling in love with her automatically, and it's just like, which one is more unrealistic? Both of them are. How can you fall in love with a girl that you don't even know? How can she fall in love with a guy that she doesn't even know? How can you have sex with a guy that you don't even know? I mean, like, and that's another issue. The whole, let's have a first date and then let's just have sex. And that's where I was saying, like, she was throwing a lot of adult content into what felt like a YA novel. It's just, yeah, that was unnecessary to put all that in there. It was just a little bit awkward. And then you have the whole thing about him biting her, and you're like, okay, why didn't you just show us that? I mean, you pretty much said everything but the fact that he bit her, and you find that out afterwards. What, you were trying to make it a little bit more mysterious and shocking, or you were going to be like, oh, he didn't bite her. Oh wait, he did? Oh my gosh, I'm so shocked. Yet, how are we supposed to be shocked? We know he's a vampire. Of course he's gonna bite her. It's like, duh. And I just can't believe that the author would treat us, the reader, as stupid enough to fall for that little trap, or that little suspenseful moment where we don't know if he bit her or not. You know, we're not that dumb. don't treat us as dumb. I was really disappointed in this book. I was kind of looking forward to something a little bit away from my normal reading, but it wouldn't be outrageous. And this book was completely outrageous, ridiculous, over everything. Everything was just overboard and unrealistic, so stupid. And I hate the characters. I hate everything about this book. So it's like a negative 5. If that was a realistic rating, I would. But since it isn't, it's a 1 out of 5 stars. And yeah, that is it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. So, yeah. Okay.